let's go through my Pinterest together. Please excuse my voice throughout this entire video. I am sick and I don't know if I'm gonna I might lose my voice by the end of the video. Let's hope I don't. But yeah, you guys know the drill. I pin mostly home and style things. So that's what we're gonna go over today. Just everything that I'm obsessed with at the moment and pinning like crazy. First thing I cannot get enough of in both home and style are blue. This blue specifically, I don't know the exact name of this blue. It's kind of like a powdery blue, but this combined with browns. For the summer, I talked about how much I love this with like red or like a terracotta, but right now, just browns with this, obsessed. And I really want a rug in this color. I know that Nordic Knots makes like probably the most beautiful color ever in a rug, very similar to this, but I don't know if I want to get like a more muted version so that it goes, you know, it's not like as much of a pop, or something that is a little bit more fun. I don't know, but I definitely either want it for my living room or my bedroom. I cannot, this is like one of my favorite colors. I cannot get enough of this color. And I think that it just looks so good with warm tones in your house, like woods and things like that. And it translates also to style. So I just love like this with like that bag back here, or like any of the suede bags that I've talked about recently. Obsessed. Random accent chairs throughout your house. I think that this is such a nice alternative to a side table. I think that you can really have fun with it. You can get something that is vintage and has a lot of like, you know, like cool details, good craftsmanship. You could get something that's a little bit more sleek, more like, you know, like Nordic, Scandinavian, mid-century vibes. You can really play around with it. I've been loving just using chairs or seeing chairs in random places in a house, and places where you wouldn't expect. You can put like a light on top of it. You can stack some books on it. You can just use it as a table. But the fact that it has a backrest, it brings the detail up vertically. And when you have plain walls, I think that that's such a cool way to add interest upward. Because sometimes you put a side table or you put like a stool or a step stool or something, and it looks nice, but it's very low. So if you want to put like, let's say art above it, the distance between the side table or the stool and the art or the lamp piece on the wall or whatever is like quite a lot, and it's a little bit awkward to fill. Whereas if you use a chair, you have more of this detail coming upward on the wall. So I'm a huge fan of anything that you can use to decorate a plain space, but also not be committed to it. So you can move this chair around. You could use it in different rooms. Cap outfits. I think that a cap would go really good with what I'm wearing today. And I probably will throw a cap when I go outside. But right now, like, why am I going to wear a cap if I'm sitting in my room, you know? But cap outfits, Kendall Jenner is like all over. She's always all over my Pinterest board. I really love her style, or like how her stylist styles her, because she has very good style. I can tell she has good taste when she dresses herself, but a lot of the times her stylist dresses her. And stylists don't really get a lot of credit, so I like to credit the stylist. But cap outfits that she wears are just like top notch. It just brings so much interest and effortlessness to your outfit, and you guys know how much I love these like little elements of effortlessness in my outfit. Like you can be wearing like a fancier or more elegant like trench or coat, and you throw a cap on and it makes it look so effortless. Throw a huge like suede bag, big like tote leather bag, or a canvas. My L Bean canvas bag would look so good with like this type of outfit. A couple of these things I talked about in my recent video on things that I find incredibly chic for the fall, which I'll link down below. But chocolatey brown, bouncy, mid-length, layered or not layered haircuts and like blowouts. I'm always obsessed with this, but like there's something about a chocolatey brown, like bouncy blowout that I love so much for this time of year. I think that it screams fall. Like, I don't know what it is about it. I love it so much. I think that it looks this is my favorite length in hair. And I really wish that I didn't have to cut my hair like monthly to retain this length, but it's my favorite. And I think that it just looks so good on everyone. It's such a universal, beautiful haircut and style and color. Obviously, not just like chocolate brown. just like bouncy haircuts in general, but for this time of year, like a good deep chocolatey brown hair color, I love so much. I also talked about this one. So watches over long sleeves or sweaters, something like this, like a watch that adds an element of, again, effortlessness to your outfit, something that you can throw on and not have to think about, you know. It's not like as fancy as like a thicker bangle or thicker bracelet. It's just something that goes with everything. Yeah, whether it's a watch that you throw over a long sleeve or a bangle that you throw over a long sleeve, or just have it styled like this, like in a very effortless way with like, you know, like a button down or like a chunky knit, or just throwing something over your shoulders, and this whole vibe. This watch is by Lola Rose, and they are kindly sponsoring this portion of the video. I used to be very into wearing watches, but now I really have to love the piece. So this is just such a classic design. Very beautiful. They have a couple of colors. If you guys aren't familiar with Lola Rose, they're a fashion watch and accessory brand. They were founded in London by an England designer named Nikki Gewertz MBE. They were founded in the year 2000, and they integrate natural and colorful gemstone elements into their designs in such a tasteful and beautiful way. It is very rare for me to go on a watch website and love, you know, not only the shapes of every piece, but the sizes and the colors chosen and the materials chosen. But this is one of the websites that I go on, and I genuinely love almost everything on there. I'm very happy with my selection. I actually also chose their urban bracelet. This is one with the little pearls. And when I measured this, I got the smallest size, which fits my wrist perfectly fine, but I measured it, I think in like September, and my wrist has swollen because I am 9 months pregnant. So I'm just patiently waiting for my wrist to go back down so that I can wear it. But they have these stacks that just work really well. Like this is the urban watch. I got the mother of pearl color. So look how beautiful it would look if the bracelet actually fit me. And then the watch, obviously you can adjust it, but I like to leave it a little bigger because I like to throw it over long sleeves and like sweaters and stuff. So especially for this time of year. So that's why I left it slightly bigger, but yeah, you can adjust it if you want. So yeah, this watch is water resistant up to 30 meters. The case and strap material is 316 stainless steel. The one that I chose, the crystal, is mother of pearl. So the face is just this beautiful iridescent pearl. They do have other colors. I really love the blue one as well. I really love square dials or faces because they work really well with bracelets and stacking and things like that, better than round faces. When it comes to watches, I just want something that's extremely versatile, goes with everything, and brings an element of, you know, elegance, but also effortlessness at the same time to my outfits. And this just does so perfectly. And Lola Rose is currently having a sale up to 50% off. And you can get an additional 10% off if you use my code JAMARI10 at checkout. I'll put everything down below. Be sure to check out the description. And thank you so much, Lola Rose, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Integrated shelving, or shelving that just looks like it's part of your wall. This, not just like for living rooms, but in certain areas similar to, you know, the accent chair that I talked about, just having a wall dedicated to this, I think looks so cool. Whether it's just a small little slither somewhere in your home or your living room or your bedroom, doesn't have to be like a whole wall, just like something from top to bottom, and you just switch out the styling. I love, you know, mid-century wall units or wall units in general. Love wood, love oaks, you know, obviously all of that is very timeless. But there's just something so seamless about having integrated shelving. There's more room for creativity when you have such a blank space. I love them both, obviously. You guys know I love my woods. I think that all of it, you know, any type of wall unit, any type of shelving unit that you have in your home, like there's just so much opportunity for styling and just like really having fun with it. But lately, this is just like what I've been gravitating towards and pinning like crazy. So I also really love like just books, you know, it doesn't have to be like styled. Just having books. Like if you're a reader, you have to just dedicate a space in your house. Doesn't have to be a huge space, but a space in your house for all of your books. Something so cozy about it, and it adds so much personality as well. Any type of shelving, you know, not just this style, but it really, like anything that you can integrate into your home and style with things that just really, I look at it and I can tell like the type of person you are, or just something about you based on the styling of your shelves. So if you're a reader and you have a section of your house dedicated to your books like this, I just think it looks so cozy and warm, and it adds so much character and like love and personality to a space, you know? So again, it doesn't have to be an entire wall, just like a slither in like a hallway or any section of your house where you have the space for it, you know? And it doesn't have to be something that's super deep either. Eyeglasses with outfits at the moment during this time of year, I love it so much. I also talked about this in the video on things that I find incredibly chic for this time of year, but there's just something about throwing eyeglasses on. I love wearing my sunglasses as an accessory to add to my outfit. You know, I don't just throw them on. Obviously, I throw them on for practicality because my eyes are very sensitive in sunlight, but I also take them into consideration when I'm putting my outfit together. You know, it's like the last thing that I throw on and I see how it works with my outfits. So same thing with eyeglasses. I think that eyeglasses, especially for this time of year, just look so chic, and it's just something that you can, you know, integrate into your outfit. Non-matching nightstands. I've always been a big fan of just non-matching furniture in general. Like, I love rooms that have furniture that kind of like goes together in a way, but is not a set. That you've curated, maybe you've mixed materials. I don't know, but I am a huge fan of these bedrooms that just have maybe like a chest on one side with a couple drawers, and then like a traditional nightstand or a stool on the other side, or a chair, like something that kind of goes with it, but not really. And then you have your regular dresser. You know, it's like a curation of furniture in a bedroom, but it's not a full set that you can just go to the store. Nothing wrong with that. I just personally think that rooms just, it just has more personality, and it's more like cozy when the furniture isn't from a collection. There are times where symmetry just makes sense in design, but I really appreciate how we're kind of letting go of the need for perfection and symmetry and everything matching and everything being perfect in design. Like, there's obviously a time and a place for all of that, and I think that you can definitely integrate it into different elements of your house interior design. But I've really been embracing just like non-symmetrical design and really playing around with things. Letting go of perfectionism and like everything just being one color or matching or symmetrical. There's so much beauty in that. And I think that it really, really makes a space without being too much. It really does a lot for a space in terms of bringing personality and character. So like, for example, any of the things that we talked about, but the integrated shelving or bookshelves or whatever, just not having everything be perfect, like just choosing maybe an off-centered wall or vertical, you know, like little space of these shelving units, and not having to do the same thing on the other side. Long cardigans, and I'm talking long, I'm talking like ankle length, okay? Like maxi cardigans, preferably something that's not too heavy, but obviously if you live in a place that experiences season, then a chunky maxi cardigan, obsessed. Just like very, very, very long, either coats or cardigans, or even like shirts, like something like this, but just like really long. I think it just looks so cool. And there's something about it that you throw it on any outfit, even if you're not leaving your house. Like, let's say you want to wear this around your house. Like, it's like a robe, but it doesn't necessarily have to tie at the waist or anything, or have any extra pieces for cinching. Just a long duster or cardigan, I think, is timeless. And it's all over my Pinterest right now because I think it looks so, so, so good. And so effortless. This niche or ledge above beds, similar to the shelving, but just like protruding the entire back of your bed. You could just limit it to just the headboard, or you could do the entire room like this. And it's kind of like it creates this ledge for whatever you want. You could put lamps on it, you can put plants, you can style it, or you can put frames. What I love about shelving as opposed to hanging is that there's less commitment. I know it's not a big deal to hang something. You can just take it off your wall and close the hole if you want. But I really, like, as somebody who changes these shelves back here, I change them like weekly, okay? As somebody who just likes to change things around, I love this. Like, I think that it's such a cool, easy thing to do in your bedroom, and it's gonna add such a cool element, you know, and it's so subtle. But obviously, you can do this with like plywood as well. If you don't want to do it with sheetrock and you don't want to like, you know, like do the framing for it, you can use plywood instead. You're still going to have to frame it out, I think. But, you know, like there's so many things you could do. You could tile it as well, or at least the top. The possibilities are endless. And again, you guys know how much I love an accent headboard. This, you do not need a headboard for this. This is your headboard. You can put like sconces on the side, little stools, and those will be your nightstands. And this whole thing is your headboard. And I love that. I love not using traditional headboards. Nothing wrong with it. I don't know. There's something so much more grand about working with the back of your wall as opposed to just adding a headboard. Very lightweight maxi coats everywhere. All I needed was one picture, and I am obsessed with this very lightweight. I think I still have one, and I used it so much that I made holes in it. It was from Zara, and it was this very, very lightweight trench, but it wasn't long like this. And I feel like if you live in my weather, this is like the type of coat that you can get away with wearing. And I love it so much. I think that, again, very good transitional piece. This is like having a shirt, but it's very long. You can throw this on. And then if you're, you know, it's very, very cold outside, you can just layer with a coat or with a chunky sweater like this, or layer with whatever you want. The long cardigan that I talked about, or a trench coat, like anything, you can layer with it, and it just adds like this long layer underneath that just looks so good. So that is it. That's everything that I've been pinning. I will put my Pinterest link down below. I think it's just Jamari1. I don't know what my username on there is. Jamari1. I'll put it down below. I always have it on my website, which I think I always link in the description, but I'm getting a lot of, every time I post one of these videos, I get a lot of questions on what my Pinterest is. I'm on there like every day. So yeah, if you guys want to follow me, you can do that on there. And yeah, don't forget to check out the description. I'm going to link this watch down below, as well as the bracelet. And Lola Rose is currently having their sale where you can get up to 50% off, and you can get an additional 10% off by using code Jamari10 at checkout. So I'll put all of that down below as well. And I will see you in my next video.